and welcome back to a brand new Sims 4 speed build. If you're new to my channel, hey, how's it going? I'm Jen. Thank you for clicking the thumbnail and giving me a chance. If you feel like I don't blow it by the end of the video, feel free to hit that subscribe button. Check out some more videos in the future. It's a win-win situation. And it is always, without a doubt, 100,000% appreciated. When you guys do things like that, it lets me know that I'm supplying you guys with the types of videos you want. So for real, anytime you give me a thumbs up or you subscribe or you leave me a comment saying that you like the build, it's reassurance that I am doing right by anyone who takes the time to click on these videos and give me a chance to entertain them. Now, for today's video, I have decided to kick the cold to the curb and build myself a beautiful little beach house. If you guys don't know, I live in Florida. Most of my year I'm surrounded in sunny, beautiful weather, and for whatever reason, this winter took a really late start and now it just won't let go. Now, as much as I would love to control the weather, I can't. You can't, I can't, no one can. At least I hope nobody can. But what we can do is build things that make us feel better about a situation. And as cold as everything has been lately and as ready as I am for the warm summer sun, I built a beach house, and I promise you, when I was done with the build, I was happier. It's still cold outside, but I was still happier. So in that context, this was totally worth it. And out of that context, this house still turned out really cool. I still love it, and if you haven't built a beach house, I highly suggest you do because it was a lot of fun. Now, I know that there's not one specific way to do a beach house, just like there's not one way to do any type of build out there. But just in case you live in a part of the world where you're not close to beaches or beach houses, or if for some reason you've literally never seen one, I do think that there are some common build details that do go into beach houses. So for anyone who, this is their first time ever seeing anything to do with a beach house, you should know that most of them are raised off of the ground onto stilts of some sort so that when there is higher tides or when we have like major storms or things like that come through, your house does not get washed away when the tide comes in and literally just washes everything else away. And that's why this build started with me creating the first story on the second story, because I was trying to stay true to the aesthetic of beach houses. And if you've never seen one, I promise you, if you go down a road with a bunch of beach houses, everything is really up on stilts. So for this house, I decided to use really big windows and really just flood in that warm summer beach sunlight. That is not a real staple of beach houses. You'll see just as many with a ton of windows as you will see them with barely any windows. It really just depends on the beach house, honestly. But one thing you will see in pretty much like every beach house out there is tile floors. Like everything else in design, it is not the only way to design a beach house, but it is such a common thing to see tiles within that style home. When I was building this beach house, I actually almost didn't put tile floors into every single room. I had them in the main living areas, but I had a lot of wood on the second floor where the bedroom and the bathroom was. And as soon as my boyfriend saw that, he immediately pointed it out to me and made the comment that most beach houses were tile all the way through. And I didn't want to have to admit he was right, but as soon as I switched it all over, it was just kind of like, well, dang, he was totally right, and it immediately looked a million times better with just having that tile run throughout the house. And honestly, I love when my boyfriend actually gives me his opinion and helps me as I'm doing the builds, because sometimes, I'm telling you, somebody that's not invested in the game, that hasn't spent hours looking at the house that you've spent hours looking at, will see the littlest details that make the biggest difference. Not too long ago, I put up a speed build where I built a graveyard, and he helped me a lot with that build too. Like, I did the main parts of the build, but when it came down to like the little nitty-gritty details of what really made that build look creepy, he actually had a lot of input on those smaller items that I put into the build, and he made me take a lot of stuff out that I had in it initially. So if you happen to be doing your own speed builds for YouTube and you have somebody that's not into the game but is willing to look at what you're doing, it can really be game-changing on a lot of different things. And if the circumstance is like my circumstance, where the person who's looking at the videos and giving you critiques is your non-sim loving honey, it's a great way to get them to be involved with a game that you probably love. All right, let's talk more about this build though. At this point in the video, I can tell you we've pretty much established that it's going to be a two-story home on stilts. And even though it is for vacationing totally, it is not for a family vacation because it is actually a 1-bedroom and 1-bathroom home. Now, normally when I build a house, if it is a 2-story build, genuinely there will be a bathroom on both the first and second story. If there's only 1 bathroom, I tend to keep it on the first floor with all of the living spaces, and the second story is more of just a private sleeping area for the people who are in the home. In this house, I actually approached it the complete opposite, and I put the only bathroom on the second story connected to the only bedroom with an additional access point in the hallway. But really, I took that restroom and I separated it from the social living areas because honestly, most people, if they have a beach house, they're not spending a lot of time in the beach house. You are out on the beach, you are having a good time, you are roaming whatever beautiful city you're in, but you're not sitting in your house needing multiple bathrooms on multiple floors. Something else I did to this house that I don't normally do to homes that I build in The Sims is I took the dining room and moved it outside. I don't know if you guys caught that detail because we've already kind of passed that part of the video, but I literally took a square living space, put the dining room where I wanted it, and then cut it out of the building because if you lived on this beach in this house, why would you ever eat inside? I guess if it was storming, you could always eat in the living room. There's gorgeous views looking out those really big windows. But realistically, 99% of the time, if you're eating, you're going to be eating out on that porch, enjoying the beautiful weather on the beautiful beach. And I don't know if you guys can really tell or not, but clearly I miss summer. I miss the ocean. I miss the beach. I am missing it all right now. And actually, today's just a little bit warmer than normal, so it's great, but at the same time, it's just making me want it so much more. I am going to be so upset in a couple days when it's super cold again. I'm just ready for summer. But I just double checked and it turns out I still can't control the weather. So instead, we're going to talk about the color schemes used in this build. I really didn't want to deviate and try to get all funky and crazy with the color schemes for it. I just wanted to stick with that true, atypical design for a beach house. And if you did not know what the atypical design for a beach house is, you take the colors and themes of the ocean and the sands and everything that surrounds the beach house and you bring it indoors. And no, I'm not kidding. I don't know if this is true of all beach houses throughout the world, but at least the ones down here in Florida, this is how they're decorated. Most times when you walk into somebody's beach house, there are lots of neutrals and creams, very light beiges, just all these different tones that at the end of the day make you think of sand. And then the pops of colors are always blues or teals or seafoam greens, just anything that's gonna pull that ocean aspect of what's around the house inside the house. I've seen a few where instead of doing the blue and green pops of colors, they pull more from sunsets and you get oranges, reds, yellows, things of that nature. But it sets up for a more romantic feel, so I think it's way less common than just the typical to be expected beiges, creams, and blues. So like I said earlier, this house ended up being a 1-bedroom, 1-bathroom home. It has an outdoor dining area as well as an indoor living room and kitchen. The front entryway is also set up with a chess table, and there is tons of really great lighting throughout the place just from all of the larger windows. One thing that you're not going to see me setting up during the speed build, but you will see in the screenshots afterwards, is it also has a laundry room. On the very bottom of the house, that center stack of support, I do actually put a laundry room smack dab right there. So if you do want to include doing laundry on your vacation, which honestly, who would? It's available there for you to use. Now we're getting pretty close to the screenshots, so before we actually roll into those guys, to anyone who has made it this far in the video, first off, thank you. But secondly, I would love your opinions about how I edited this video together. Normally, I involve a lot more of the finer details, putting in the small miscellaneous decorations, but I was thinking in this video that because we were going to see them on the screenshots, I could show you guys more of the build if I took out pretty much all of that stuff. If you guys like the way I did this, please let me know. I'm definitely trying to rework the way I present videos to make them the most accommodating to anyone who's watching them, whether it be strictly for entertainment or if you're trying to get some build ideas. Whichever it is, let me know. I love it when you guys get involved with how I do things on the channel. A great case in point is the thumbnail to this video. I had actually made 3 different options. I shared them among a bunch of different Sims groups that I'm in. The one that was selected the most is the one that I ended up using for the video. And if I'm being completely honest with you guys, it's not the one I would have picked myself, but as soon as I saw how many people liked it, I reevaluated all 3 photos and realized that they were totally spot on and it was the best photo. And realistically, if you clicked on this video strictly because of that thumbnail, then you are my proof that this channel is so much better when you guys get involved. And now we are almost out of screenshots, so I'm gonna go ahead and wrap this bad boy up. This house is available in the gallery right now under my ID, which is SimPlayJen. To anyone who downloads it, there's a lot of CC in this build, so I would recommend downloading it as a shell and then furnishing it your own way with your own flair. If you enjoyed today's video but you have yet to give it a thumbs up, don't forget to do that before you go. If you've made it this far and you still aren't subscribed, you know you want to do it, go ahead and hit that button. Other than that, I do hope you enjoyed today's video. I hope you have a wonderful rest of the day and that you make it back here for the next one. All right, y'all, take it easy.